he's made his move to MMA.
I don't have any fears.
Now he wants to prove he's got what it takes.
What's the biggest difference between professional wrestling and MMA? MMA is real and wrestling is fake. For anybody that doesn't know that, you're living in a cave.
Brock left pro wrestling behind to try his skills in the real ring.
And now, hopefully, you'll see me as a professional fighter.
He's shown he's tough by becoming an NCAA champion, but MMA's a world where only the toughest survive, and that's why he's here.
I want to fight. That's the reason for it. I want to fight. I want to fight for real.
Now, Lesnar's got his sights set on one of the biggest targets in the game.
I want to have fun out there while I'm fighting. I've been practicing for this.
Korean hero Min Soo Kim. He was a judo silver medalist in the Atlanta Olympics. His first-rate submissions can turn the tables of a fight in the blink of an eye. But not only can he grapple, his boxing skills will knock you on your back.
You're finished. I'm going to show you how it's done here in the ring.
An American wrestling champion versus a Korean judo superstar.
I don't have any fears.
Brock Lesnar versus Min Soo Kim.
Brock's.
Our first fighter in this battle, from Korea, Min Soo Kim.
After ascending to the top of the judo mountain, culminating with a silver medal in the '96 Olympics, Korea's Min Soo Kim has found the MMA world to be much tougher. What he does bring to tonight's main event is the hopes of an entire nation, and there is a huge Korean contingent in attendance here tonight for this fight.
Min Soo Kim here, guys. I got to tell you what. I know he's very, very experienced on an international stage. Bill, you know Brock Lesnar better than Moro, better than myself. I don't think he has any idea the world that he's about to meet right now.
You know, I know Brock. I know him in a different capacity. I know Brock as a wrestler. I know Brock as a professional wrestler. I know Brock as a man. He's a stand-up guy. I can tell you one thing. He's one of the strongest, one of the toughest guys that I have ever met.
It was interesting in talking yesterday to Min Soo Kim. He didn't seem like he really cared. He didn't really know much about Brock Lesnar.
He knew nothing about Brock Lesnar.
Didn't seem to care about Brock Lesnar and started to realize, well, I've been in with some big guys myself. Big guys, yeah, but not big, unbelievably aggressive guys.
The 1996 Olympic silver medalist in judo. Again, having a tough run of it thus far in MMA, but he's also been in with Ray Sefo, Bob Sapp, and there he is, a man who was supposed to face Brock Lesnar in the main event, part of Min Soo Kim's entourage, the Techno Goliath, the very taunting 7 foot 2 inches tall of Hong Man Choi.
Totally different. You know, Brock Lesnar also at first he had to get ready for a kickboxer who is 7 foot 2 like we talked about, and now a much different frame of a human being in Min Soo Kim, a foot shorter and 100-pound lighter.
You know, Brock, make that Bill. I called you Brock there for a second, buddy.
All right.
Wow.
I'm a lot older.
Sorry about that. Now, he does have a sub-500 record, does Min Soo Kim, but look at his losses to the likes of Bob Sapp, Ray Sefo, Sammy Schildt, Don Fry.
Well, yeah, there's no question. He's been in there with some monsters. He's been in there with some guys who are legends. Now he steps in the ring with a guy who's a definite unknown, a guy who's making his MMA debut, just like a Johnny Morton,
right.
One of the biggest stages you can have.
Let me show the keys to victory here for Min Soo Kim. First of all, you know what, guys? He's in a catch-22 because the only place he can win this is if he gets it on the ground, goes for a submission. But I don't think you want to get close to Brock Lesnar. He's got to figure that out. Number 2, exploit Lesnar's aggression. Brock will probably come out, go crazy out there, which could leave an arm, could leave an opening. And number 3, Moro, you just talked about it. He has the experience, and in this game, sometimes experience is everything.
Now, I know this is a mixed martial arts battle, Bill, but with Hong Man Choi in the corner, it's not going to be a run-in or anything, is there?
I'm right here, buddy.
And from the U.S., Brock Lesnar!
He was the most sought-after free agent in the sport of mixed martial arts. The former collegiate wrestling champion Brock Lesnar chose to make his initial mark in the world of MMA with tonight's K1 Dynamite USA. Known as the next big thing in professional wrestling, he very well could become just that in mixed martial arts, Bill.
You know what, man? It's just, we're going to see tonight. There's no question about it. I mean, Brock is not a guy to turn down competition. Brock is a guy that never played collegiate football. Brock is a guy who quit professional wrestling at the top of his career. The last time he wrestled was with a guy named Goldberg. Okay, so I know. He quit both of those to go and he wanted to be a professional football player. Okay, now who tries to be a professional football player with no collegiate experience? A guy who wants to complete a dream.
And even after he did get released, the Minnesota Vikings still wanted to send him to NFL Europe because they saw the aggression of this guy, the strength of this guy. There could be something there.
You opened up an interesting can of worms, Mr. Goldberg. We were talking about the crowd and some of the reaction during the Sakuraba-Gracie fight. Any memories of WrestleMania 20 MSG, your last fight with Brock Lesnar?
You know what? It was an honor, man. It was an honor. I worked for a company that I'll never give credit for, that I can tell you, but to have my last match at Madison Square Garden and to be wrestling a guy who's such a stand-up guy like Brock Lesnar, man, it was awesome.
Now, Billy, would you ever get in there and take on a guy like this in an MMA event?
You know how many times that question's been asked of me, and I'm 40 years old, man. I mean, let's be perfectly honest.
You don't look a day over 39 and a half.
You know what? I'm old, man. I may co-own a Muay Thai school, and I may have been training for years and years and years. But my body has been through absolute hell.
Yeah,
I got to tell you. And you know what? 10 years ago and 15 years ago and 20 years ago, if I didn't choose to go the way that I went, I'll be damned if you could keep me out of that ring.
And this is why Brock Lesnar is doing this, folks. The way Bill feels right now, it's just because age and injuries have caught up. Well, that's not the case for Brock. And we sat there with Brock 2 days ago. We said, why did you do this? And he said, this is the time for me to do it. I don't have to worry about money. I want to go out there and try and be the best in something that nobody else will do.
He's about to enter the ring of reality. What are the keys to victory for Brock Lesnar?
Well, first and foremost, Brock has got to stay mentally focused. He's on a big stage here. He's trying something he's never tried before, and he's got to go in there calm, collective, and figure out what to do step by step. He's got to secure the takedown. Being 106-5, an amateur wrestler, and being as big and strong as he is, he's got to take it to the ground, and when he gets it to the ground, he's got to start the ground and pound and finish with putting that guy's face in the end of the mat.
Longtime fan of MMA, and now finally making his debut after training for more than a year as we take you to the tail of the tape for this main event at Dynamite USA. Brock Lesnar's 29, 6'2", 262 pounds with a background in wrestling. Min Soo Kim is 32, 6'1", 255 pounds, was a judo medalist at the 96 Olympics. Let's take you now to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum for the featured bout of the evening as SoftBank presents Dynamite USA in association with Pro Elite and our heavyweight featured attraction. Sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, the executive officer Armando Garcia, our physicians at ringside, doctors Paul Wallace, Danny Carusillo, Naresh Rao, Leandro Gatus, and Neil Frauworth. Timekeepers at the bell, Debbie Garcia, Mike North. And introducing to you our judges, all from California, Nelson Hamilton, Cecil Peoples, and Alejandro Rochin. Presenting now our third man in the ring, our referee in charge of the action, Steve Mazzagatti. All right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening. A heavyweight special attraction scheduled 3 5-minute rounds. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and MMA fans joining us around the world, live from Los Angeles, it's showtime! Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 feet 1 inch, he weighed in at 255 pounds. Raised in the time-honored tradition of judo, his record stands at 2 wins, 5 losses, with 2 wins coming by way of submission. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the 1996 Olympic silver medalist in judo from Seoul, South Korea, known as Mr. Shark, introducing Min Soo and his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner, standing 6 feet 2 inches, he weighed in at 262 pounds. Specializing in the discipline of wrestling, tonight he makes his much anticipated MMA debut from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Here is the former NCAA heavyweight wrestling champion and 3-time WWE World Wrestling Champion, introducing Brock Lesnar. Once again, a referee in charge, Steve Mazzagatti.
All right, gentlemen, you know what you're here for. We want a good, clean, fair fight. You need to obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Hook them up, gentlemen. Good luck.
Min Soo Kim, known as Mr. Shark. Is he being fed to the Sharks here tonight, Jay?
I certainly think he is being fed to the Sharks here. Brock Lesnar, I mean, you see how fast this guy's jumping up and down on his toes. For a man that size, you should not be able to move with that much agility.
I got to tell you, man, you can never say never for the Shark, but, man, he has absolutely no idea the strength, the power, and the ferocity of Brock Lesnar.
Main event of Dynamite USA is underway. Brock Lesnar's much anticipated MMA debut against Min Soo Kim, and Lesnar secures the early takedown.
This is actually where Min Soo Kim wants to be. It's his only shot, really, to hope to catch Lesnar or something.
And Lesnar already unleashing a series of right hands. But you're right, but look at Lesnar smothering him. The NCAA heavyweight champion, Min Soo Kim, probably thinks the weight of the world is on him right now.
Right now, Brock has just got to breathe. Look how easily he's passing this guard, guys.
And he actually did, technically, he did it very well.
Yes,
also.
He did.
Still in half guard, however, and now he'll try to pull that right leg up, but he's content to just start pounding him underneath the arm, over top of the arm. Brock Lesnar definitely in his comfort zone here on the ground against Min Soo Kim.
Tell you what, though, guys, he looks like he's been professional wrestling for ages. He just can't get too high here. That's the one thing when you get them out, if you get too high.
Well, the one thing with Brock is, center of gravity, man. So he's been there for years. He's done stuff like that. So
Min Soo Kim trying to keep him at close quarter, but he's eating him. That's it. And excited here at ringside. Brock Lesnar, debut a victorious one. Is he the next big thing in MMA? He made short work of Min Soo Kim. Jay, what are your thoughts?
Moro, you don't see a lot of guys tap from ground and pound, really give up from the ground and pound. You see guys, when you get knocked out down there, the referee stops it. The punishment that he was taking down there, I think the power, just the brute power of Brock Lesnar shows you how much different he could be than other heavyweights out there right now.
Billy has the notoriety, all the physical tools. Obviously a short test tonight, but what are your thoughts on your buddy's debut?
My thoughts is it's a great start. There's no question about it. He's got to get in there with a guy who can strike, who can submit, a guy who's got more skills than Kim. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what Brock thinks. We're going to see if he wants to fight again. After that, I think the answer is going to be yes.
A lot of nervous energy coursing through the veins, perhaps, but it didn't take him long to get comfortable, Jay.
You know what? I tell you what, he was more comfortable than I thought he'd be. He came out there more tame. I thought he was going to come out absolutely like a wildfire, like a wild man, and didn't.
Min Soo Kim having difficulty standing up, so just to give you an idea of how much punishment he was taking from those ham-like fists of Brock Lesnar, the ground and pound and he definitely pounds out an impressive win.
Lesnar showed a lot of maturity in this fight for his first fight.
Here's a takedown, he catches the kick, and guess what? Brock takes him down, just like he's done everybody else in the University of Minnesota wrestling school. Here's a second look at the takedown. Yeah, Brock's in his element in there, guys. I got to be the first one to tell you. If you weren't impressed with what you just saw, then you know, you're not either watching it or you're not breathing. And here's the tap out. What did he tap out from? Not a submission, not a slam. He tapped out from repeated punches to the side of his beam from a guy who's big, strong, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He just so happens to be a former professional wrestler.
Isn't that nice? There's
poetic
justice right there, isn't there?
All you naysayers, take that.
So Brock Lesnar records the win early in the first round. And now, time will tell, where does his mixed martial arts career go from here? And it's good to see that Min Soo Kim is actually standing now and seems to have regained his faculties. He absorbed enough punishment, and this is the punishment we're talking about, Jay. Jay, of course,
well, since Jay took off, I'll take his spot. Well, you know, I can't talk like Jay, but hey, anybody in that position getting pounded by a guy of Brock's size, strength, and aggression is going to tap out. I'm sorry.
Trying to spread the wealth, you know.
Absolutely. I hear you.
But he's already on his way to the ring.
You know what? I got to congratulate my boy.
Great job. All right, Jimmy Lennon Jr. is standing by with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute 9 seconds in round number 1. The opponent taps out due to strikes. He is the winner in his MMA debut, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
So there it is, Brock Lesnar's MMA debut lasts all of 1 minute and 9 seconds of one round, and Jay Glazer is standing by with Brock Lesnar.
Thanks, guys. Here with a victorious Brock Lesnar. Brock, very impressive win in your debut. How much different was this than any other athletic world that you've been in?
Well, all my preparation has been due to my amateur wrestling success. I got a great group of guys behind me. Marty Morgan, Jesse Wallace, Kurt Kozlowski, Greg Nelson. I want to thank everybody for coming. And it's fireworks.
I got to ask you this. You told us the other day, yeah, I'd have some nerves. I don't really know what to expect. Was it fun?
I can't hear you. I can't even hear you, man. Enjoy the fire.
What was it, when all said and done, come on over here, when all said and done, was it fun? Was it an enjoyable experience, something that you want to continue?
Absolutely. I enjoyed myself. I was disappointed I couldn't fight the big-headed guy, but maybe in the near future.
Tell me what you want to do next. Where do you want to go? Talk about your progression in the sport.
I have no idea. I want to keep fighting, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what promoter wants to step up and hand out some money, and let's get some heavyweight titles on the line.
Brock Lesnar, congratulations. Very impressive debut, guys. Send it back to ringside. And Morrow and Bill.
Thanks a lot, Jay. Brock Lesnar, definitely gracious in